Hi and good morning. Welcome to today's walk and talk. A lot happened in the latest 48 hours, I would say. We have seen the market shaking down quite heavily. So 2 or 3 days ago, the market went to 112,000 and even a little lower. Then yesterday it recovered again to around 13, or I'm not sure, in the night, maybe to 14,000. And now this morning when I checked my phone, it was around 11,000 again. Loads of assets have been going up quite well and now getting liquidated again. So it's a very difficult market. Everybody is waiting or trying to FOMO into the bull market or the altcoin season, but it probably will take some more weeks or days. We have talked about the fact that even the altcoin season indicator has reversed, so it is not flashing anymore, meaning that the dominance of the altcoins has reduced. According to this indicator, we need some more days now to try to start the alt season again. So I'm still very positive that we will see what we want to see. So alt season. Also, there was a big shift in, not in narrative, but all these decentralized or perpetual decentralized, these DEXs have triggered quite a narrative at the moment. I'm talking about mainly about Hyperliquid, Asta and Drift. You may know that a lot of Hyperliquid whales, so these big players, have sold part of the Hyperliquid and went into Asta. Let me explain. The Asta DEX, so the Asta perpetual exchange, is a competitor to Hype and is very supported by Binance and especially by the family office or the investment arm of CZ, the former CEO of Binance. He tweeted out about it, and the internal team that also developed Pancake Swap, I think, is behind it. So they are the developer of it. It's not directly connected to Binance, to my knowledge. It's the venture arm of Binance that got renamed to some different name, not including Binance. I think it was Binance Labs before, but now it got renamed. And this platform is trying to take away market share. And at the moment, it's very successful. It actually overtook Hype in 24-hour volume in just one day. So this is a very strong competitor, and you see the Hype price falling, and the Asta price exploding. It is now, I think around 240, coming up from 0. I don't know what the entry price was, but it quadrupled or more since some people entered. So have that on your radar, but don't get in now, because now is the top. It's always a little difficult to get into an asset that just launched because you have no indication on the chart. So there's always territories where the price has never been. But make sure you watch the retracements. The asset will not go up in one move, right? So you don't have to be afraid that you miss anything. You are very late already now. You're not really very late, but a lot of people have been earlier than you. You have to remember this, and they want to take profit. So you need to be careful, wait for a retracement. I've seen this morning it retraced quite good to a support zone, but I'm not sure if it's still there. And also saw that we've discussed this, Bitcoin retraced quite heavily over the night again. So this will have, of course, an impact on all the assets. There was also Arthur Hayes with Maelstrom, which Arthur is the CEO, or it's his family office. He's the investment advisor. So also he dumped his hyperliquid on the market around 3 or 4 days ago, which was quite a lot. And they have been early investors in hyperliquid, so I don't know for how much they bought the token. I think very cheap, for $6 or something like that. And they dumped it on the market for, I don't know, 46 or even in the 50s still. So he has made a lot of money. But the thing is that we have been talking about this in one of the videos, that he said hyperliquid will go to, I don't know, he said 100x from here. And I've seen interviews yesterday asking him, so why did he say this and then dump it into the market? And he said he was comparing the stats on DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama, if you don't know it, is a website where you can actually compare the volumes and all the on-chain metrics to make decisions on what assets are performing quite well. And because he has seen the volumes of Asta picking up so heavily, he actually decided to dump it. And he also said that he promised, or his estimation was like 100x. So can't remember what it was. It was a big number for 2028. And so he still thinks that hyperliquid can do very well if they are able to survive against their competitors. The hyperliquid team has the advantage that they're very small and can move very fast. But also in the case of Binance, they are not operating it out of the big company. They have also this small team, and they have a lot of money behind it, and they have CC. So let's see how that competition works. And one more advantage that they have is that they have, so to say, they call it dark pools. Dark pools are basically opportunity for a big trader to trade decentralized, so on-chain, but nobody will see his order. I'm not sure if you will see the size, but you don't see the direction or how it works, because if it's on-chain, basically you should see everything, but they found a way that they can mask it in a way that other competitors don't see the position, because we've seen on hyperliquid, people have opened $100 million shorts or longs on some kind of assets. And then market makers try to hunt this person, because for the market makers, it's much easier to liquidate one big whale than to liquidate thousands of smaller traders, right? So this is a big disadvantage for big players on hyperliquid, because everybody's watching them. And Asta seems to have a solution to avoid this. So all the whales, they like it. And the whales, the hyperliquid whales, are all hedging against the opportunity or the possibility that Asta will overtake hyperliquid. So a lot of money is flowing out of hyperliquid, and hyperliquid has got a hard time at the moment to keep up. So also one more competitor of this would be Drift. And Drift is officially supported. We have talked about this in some of the videos by Fort, the Fort investment company, or I don't know how they call themselves exactly, but it's this new Solana treasury company. And they're not just a treasury company, they're since quite a long time work together with the Solana Foundation. They also work together with Galaxy, so with Michael Novogratz, and they have the plan to become the leader in staking and dealing with Sol, like the Michael Saylor of Bitcoin or the Tommy Lee of Ethereum. They will be basically the Solana company. They have lots, billions and billions that they are investing into Solana, but what they will do different is that they will also invest in companies. And one of the companies that actually was announced by them is Drift, which is the decentralized exchange. And Drift also listed Asta yesterday. So from yesterday on, you can also trade on Drift. In my opinion, much too late. You have to act much faster if something like this is happening. So I guess they lost a lot of money. So Drift would also be a project that at the moment fits the narrative and also has the backing from the Ford company. But the problem is always, or not the problem, but the hard thing is always the timing, right? You understand the narrative, then you have to get the timing right as well. And the market is very choppy at the moment. For a while, it was quite sideways all the time. Back on my head. Was sideways all the time. But now it's more trending downwards. So probably we'll see some more days or even weeks of downturns. October should be a very good month actually for crypto. According to the statistics, October is always the best month, and most of the time it's two digits green. So at least 10% we should do in October. So you have to be very careful not to get shaken out of the market if you holding leverage trades, and if you are in spot, you just have to close your eyes and hold it. We have discussed this just in the case when you hold spot, when you think the bull market is over, or you really think that you are in the wrong asset now. Could happen to you that you bought hyperliquid some months ago, and now you're realizing, like Arthur Hayes, the situation, and it could be good now to hedge in the same way as a lot of big hyperliquid whales are hedging, meaning that you maybe sell half of your hyperliquid and go into Asta. So just to hedge the risk, or you take half of hyperliquid out, and then you go 1/3 into Drift, 1/3 into hyperliquid, but 1/3 into Asta. But still, you need to hold it for a longer time, I guess. It's possible if you switch now that your Asta position and your Drift position will go down. So this is very important to know. This is the latest narrative that is going on now. What else is happening? Looks to me like Solana will really have a good time in the next weeks. Everything that is developed now, the ETFs will come out for basically Solana, and there will be staking for Solana. And this stock market story is very interesting, that they're really announcing now that the SEC said they want all the assets, all the stocks move on chain. And there is only Solana which is able to do this. So this is very positive for the Solana price. And these big companies, they have more insights than, they tell us, right? Also on the Bitcoin front, a lot of people start to talk about that they believe that there is paper Bitcoin, like we have discussed with BlackRock, because we cannot monitor the wallet. We don't know if they're really buying the Bitcoins. If you look how much money they're putting into the ETFs, everybody is asking themselves, where is this Bitcoin coming from, right? But we can't really know, because they say lots of money is leaving because lots of old holders, the original Bitcoin holders, are selling their Bitcoin. So it is possible, like it happened to gold, that we see already a lot of paper Bitcoin, meaning that they are not buying the underlying asset, they're just selling the certificates. Keep that in mind, it's possible. Also, there is talks that maybe the plans of the United government is that they already basically started to buy Bitcoin, but not in a way like you think, but in a way that they make a deal, or they have already given Saylor lots of money and support, and they will take apart or take over Strategy. Maybe that's why it's called Strategy, the company now, because it's the strategy then of the United States. Saylor has done a lot of meetings with the president and with the government in the latest days. And we have seen with the chip manufacturer, I think it was Intel, where the US government took a 10% stake. So this could happen, like that the US government suddenly announces how many million, I don't know what the stack, how many Bitcoin Saylor has at the moment, maybe 700,000. I don't know. This number could be very off, but something like that. And then the US government would just announce that they are, I don't know, taking 10, 20, 25% of Strategy over, and they do the Bitcoin reserve in this way. So they're not really buying physical Bitcoin. They're taking over, or they're doing some kind of cooperation with Strategy, and also maybe with Marathon Mining. Marathon is the second biggest holder in the Bitcoin land where the big players are playing. So with these two companies, if they take some percentages, then yeah, I'm not sure. They would not really do what they told us to buy it, but they would probably be able to get it through the community so everybody is happy. It's not real Bitcoin then, but probably nobody understands, and most of the people will be happy because lots of Bitcoins also jumped now on the, let's call it, paper Bitcoin side, right? Where you basically, you really don't know if you have any underlying, for most of the companies and for most of the ETFs, we don't know if they really bought Bitcoin. So let's leave it here. I will probably do another video tomorrow, depending on what happens in the market. I hope you will have a good day and you are surviving the markets. Don't give up. The altcoin season should still be just around the corner, like every week. So take care. Bye-bye. I see you.